Greetings and welcome to our trial run of suggestions in the comments. As you know, with our cartoons, we're going to start with our nose, and for this one, we're making an owl, so we're actually making a beak. Now, let's just start off with, what does an owl call its beak? Who knows? Anyways, we're making a nice little padded area around the beak. We call that kind of the chinny chin chin. And then we are going to move into Mr. Owl Cartoon's terrible haircut, which, if you know, owls are nocturnal, so they go out at night. And this one doesn't really need to worry too much about how it looks, because nobody can see it anyway. So he's got the middle part. That's what we used to call that one, the good old part, where you just kind of spread your hair left to right down the middle. Kind of like you just woke up and splashed some water on it and smushed it down. Maybe you threw on a hat and just took it off. So as you'll see, I'm making stripes from left to right to kind of show that pattern. And we're trying to stay true to the way the owl looks, but still making it kind of fun, giving it some sort of human features. Alright, in between those, we're going to have his big old eyes, which are going to be great for seeing at night and looking around everywhere. And tie in sort of the cheeks with that line, which is one of the patterns you'll see on the face of an owl. So we have one on the left and one on the right. And then its ears can perk up or down to the side. So if you want to kind of put them down out to the side, that's fine. But I wanted to kind of pop them up and make it look like sort of wearing like a headband, like he's getting ready to go out to a evening concert. A nocturnal one, if you will. And now around its neck, what we're doing is we're making a scarf, because that tuft around the neck looks like a scarf. And if you'll notice what I did, I kind of put my pen in one position and then moved it to the starting position to sort of size up where I'm going. And we went ahead and added the knot for a little layer of fun. And we're going to do a checkerboard pattern on this one. So let's, while we're doing our checkerboard pattern, think about numbers, thinking about math, which always relates to art. Let's go ahead and get into another joke. What was the owl's favorite subject in school? Anybody know? Yeah, not a big fan of geometry. Maybe you like algebra. Algebra is it. So if you feel like laughing at that one, I gotcha. All right, so we're doing the black Sharpie for the checkered pattern, and when we get into the coloring portion of the video, we're going to go ahead and add a second tone to it. So you might want to start putting in your Thinkubation bank what that color may be, or what color you would like to have. All right, so while we're finishing that up, we'll go ahead and ask ourselves one more silly little one. What was the owl magician's name? And that would have to have been Harry Houdini. That's right. Breaking the locks and getting out of the water day and night. That was good old Harry Houdini, the wonderful magician owl. So, we're finishing the scarf up, and the next thing we're going to do, as soon as we get those last few squares tied in there, you might notice on the end of the scarf, we gave it a little curve, just to kind of show that sense of movement. What we're going to do next is we're going to add the wing, and I would like to comment that this is our first video fully using our Bauer ring light with the phone clamp, and so you might notice a little technical error where we forgot to move the camera. But what we're doing now is we are putting the feathers on, and I started on the bottom left and am moving from left to right and then from top to bottom. And the idea we're going for here is feathers, and also they kind of look like fins on a fish. So, while we're thinking about feathers, I want to ask you all out there in YouTube world, why do owl babies take after their dad? And the answer is, like feather, like sun. So, that will solve that sort of clue for you. Figured I'd give you a little chuckle while you are missing a side of the video, but the pattern is pretty straightforward. So your art is your art, and you can squeeze those feathers in exactly how you like. So we're making kind of like two sort of puffy pants, and then we're going up and out towards the chest. So we make it puff out so it doesn't look like he's too stocky off eating mice and snakes and things like that. And now we're working the feathers on the left side. If you know, the left wing is a little bit smaller because from our viewing angle it is farther away and it is behind the owl. So by making it smaller, you're showing that sense of perspective. Now for this one, we're going to give him some pants with, if you'll notice what we're doing here, we're making this new product. It's this Velcro belt. And what it does is it clips from one belt loop to the one next to it. And you get two of them. You put one on your left side and one on your right side. I suppose you could just get one and put it in the back. But the idea is it's two small straps that works even better than a belt. Although instead of one, you now have to carry two objects. But they are Velcro, so you could stick them together or hang them somewhere. The owls that we are doing, the eastern owls, have a lot of stripes on them. So we're going to kind of mix it up and give him these wild stripe pants. You could go all the way up the body, but we want to give him a little bit of tie-dye and something fun at the end because he has a very special persona he's going to be taking on. So now we're making the thicker legs and feet with the claws on the end of them. So if you're drawing a regular bird, it would be similar but much, much thinner. The owl is a bird of prey and much larger than the standard birds that you would see like a robin or a blue jay or a cardinal. So they're going to have much thicker legs and much sharper claws for holding themselves onto things and holding them up. All right, so we're making a tree branch here, kind of arcing up, and you'll get to see the right side here in a minute, but as you know, this is our first video using the Bauer 10-inch ring light, which was a wonderful $10 purchase at Walmart. And so, honestly, bear with us as we get those little kinks worked out. And while you're waiting for that, we'll go with another joke. What do you call a baby owl swimming? Well, if you're familiar with those little things you get at the fried chicken stand, it is a moist owlet. That is correct. The baby owl swimming is known as a moist owlet. So, why are we doing a tie-dye? Well, we're trying to give him a fun persona. He is actually the lead singer of the Owl's favorite band of all time. If you think back to the 60s and 70s, about what would an Owl's favorite band have been back then? Who is it? Was it Led Zeppelin? Was it the Doors? Nope. It was good old Townsend and the who are you? Who, I really want to know, who is this? Who made that joke? That's what I want to know. Who made that joke? Because that was pretty terrible. Anyway, this is our owl singing for the who. And we got the tie-dye almost finished up. So what we're doing is we're going to add a little shadow of the moon. And then we're getting right near the end. We're going to slide it on over as we sign our work. And you can see we put a little kind of tree trunk coming up there. So little elements like that make it something exciting to look at. And we'll see you on the coloring side. right, there is Mr. Owl with his super awesome checkers and his fish wings, his tie-dye shirt, and his cool little striped pants with his crazy belt in the shadow of the moon. That one for you, McKenna. Thank you for the awesome suggestion. He is such a hoot. And as always, smash that like button, subscribe, and most importantly, leave your suggestions in the comments. What am I gonna make next?